Hello, thank you so much for joining me today on the Leukopak Lady. I previously covered using pre-collection testing and predictive donor biology to stratify the healthy donor pool, which helps developers and collection centers identify donors whose cells consistently perform well in manufacturing. The next logical step is to organize those donors into structured programs, what I'm calling master donor banks. A master donor bank is a structured program that identifies, qualifies, and manages donors whose cells consistently meet biological and manufacturing needs of cell therapies. The donors are selected for the bank based on suitability and biological performance testing, not just simple eligibility criteria. And their collections are used repeatedly to support allogeneic therapy manufacturing programs over an extended period of time. Master donor banks bring structure and intentionality to donor management. And as allotherapies move through their development life cycles and clinical trial phases, master donor banks become a necessity. Without structured donor programs, donor selection is inconsistent. Manufacturing variability increases without a recognized cause, and developers rely on unknown or unpredictable starting material. And this causes them to spend additional time and money qualifying random donors and optimizing processes around this uncontrollable unpredictability. But when developers use starting material from donors in a master donor bank, material from donors that are pre-qualified based on immune cell performance and functional fitness, they shorten time and money spent qualifying donors for their specific processes, they improve manufacturing consistency and process predictability, they secure better scalability into the commercialization phase, and they assure better regulatory confidence. And keep in mind that master donor banks differ from regular donor pools. Traditional donor pools are designed for availability. Recruitment into the pool is broad, and donors are chosen for collections randomly, usually based on demographic data or HLA type alone. But master donor banks are designed for performance. Donors are qualified for the bank using functional testing and deep phenotyping, and they're chosen intentionally for collections. Master donor banks provide the foundation for predictable starting material, but building one requires a structured qualification process and strong management. Key questions to keep in mind when building master donor banks are: who owns the donor relationship? Who owns the data? Are donors reserved for only one developer? And what happens when a key donor becomes ineligible, the function of their cells drifts, or they voluntarily withdraw from the collection program? Master donor banks are strategic assets, but only if they're governed like critical infrastructure. They cannot be generic. Join me for the next episode where I discuss how master donor banks must become indication specific in order to fully execute donor stratification. See you then.